Hey St. Luke's, welcome back to our Wednesday check-in. I missed you last week. My family and I were on vacation. We had a great time away, but as always, it's good to be back, and I'm glad to be back with you, even if it's only in these video formats. Some exciting things are happening around our church building. The patio is getting finished. Some of the renovations that we had been planning on doing are getting finished out there, and it's looking great. I'll include a video of the new privacy screen that we've put up. I think it looks fantastic. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Here, we'll just show it to you now. So I think it looks pretty great. I'm happy that that's done. I think it's going to provide a nice aesthetic barrier between us and the Imagine community, not to separate us, but just to give us a little bit of space. So I heard an interesting perspective the other day, kind of as everybody's lamenting the crisis of the pandemic and the damage that it's doing to our communities and our economies and all of this. Rather, they refocused and said, what are the blessings that we're seeing as a result of this pandemic? Knowing that even as we walk through the curse of this pandemic, maybe God is up to something in us and working a blessing in the midst of all of this nonetheless. So I was curious if you feel like you have been blessed in some way or recognized what God is doing in your life because of this pandemic. And maybe it took the pandemic to help you see it all the more clearly, whether that's more time with family or more emphasis on relationships or community or local economies, local businesses. One of the big blessings I think the church is realizing is that we're remembering we're not a building. We're remembering we're not the church is not a thing, it's a people, it's a community. It's a group of people who have committed their lives to following Jesus Christ, who have committed their lives together to a life of worship and a life of service. And that really is the heartbeat, the definition of what the church is. And our story for the gospel, this gospel story for this coming Sunday, really puts us square in the midst of that reality. Jesus and the disciples have taken a little field trip to Caesarea Philippi, and it's a monument town. There's lots of carvings and monumental architecture and statues and whatnot. And Jesus says there in the midst of all of this, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter gets it right. He says, "You are the Son of the living God." And Jesus says, "Blessed are you. On this rock I'll build my church." Not out of these rocks, the stones that surround us, the physical material, but out of the hearts and minds of those who would believe. In the kingdom, it's not built of stones and rocks, but it's built in our hearts. It's built in us. We bear the kingdom wherever we go. So this pandemic blessing, I think, is pretty fantastic. To remember that the church is not a building, the church is us. So we live together in this powerful way of being community. So mostly for this Wednesday check-in, I just wanted to say hi, to check in, see how everybody's doing, and to say thank you. Thank you for remembering the church is not a building, that we're the church, a vibrant, active community of faith at work in the world.